So this is for the installation of our group project. So to start, we need to configure our AWS CLI on a machine to be able to access our EC2 instance. So here we've inputted our AWS access key, our secret access key, our region, and our output, which we have as EUS2 for London and JSON. Next, we need to use our Terraform files and to use Terraform plan. It's already been initialized with Terraform in it. And then we use Terraform apply once the plan has been done to spin up all that our Terraform files allow us to. On the left, you can see we've structured it with our EC2, EKS, SG, and VPC for our virtual machines, Kubernetes, security groups, and virtual private clouds, each having their own main TF, outputs TF, and variables. Then we have in our root directory our main and output and variables, which coordinate those subfolders. Using Terraform init to initialize the Terraform, we then use plan and apply to spin up each of those respectively. Next, when we go on to our actual AWS account, we can see those instances have been spun up here in the region that we specified in the file, so EUS2. Then over here, each have been put into a security group. So we've got the Jenkins Group 2 and EKS, and also we have them running on a T2 medium for the Kubernetes master and T3 small for the additional worker nodes and the development server. We did this so that each server would be capable of running the application. So next, if we go on to Jenkins, so we go on to the public IP address of the master server, which is where we're going to have our Jenkins, and we go to port 8080. It asks us to find the password. So we need to find the Jenkins key. So they give the instructions on where to find this. So we have to go to the varlib Jenkins secrets initial admin password, and then we can just use the cat command to find the first line of it, which will give us this. So we're just going to SSH into the Jenkins master, and then from here we can find the initial admin key file and cat it. So just searching for the file now. We can simply copy and paste it and ask it to cat that. So we now found the password, and now it's just installing the Jenkins dependencies. So when you initially set up Jenkins, it has to go through all these, where it has to go through and install the dependencies to be able to run. If set up correctly, all of these boxes should just get a tick, and no additional work is required. Here again, you can see that we're on that IP address, port 8080 for the Jenkins. And skipping forwards, we made the first admin user, and so it's all successfully been installed, and we're now ready to use Jenkins. So next we need to create a Jenkins pipeline. So we name it, we're going to call this group 2 live, and we're going to select pipeline and OK. This is now to help set up our GitHub webhook. So with our Jenkins, So we're going to go on to our repository for our group project, onto settings, and then to get the link we need for Jenkins for the webhook. So we select the group project, we put that in there, and then here we select pipeline from there. We change that to Git, and then we tell it where to grab it. We need to make a new login so that the webhook is able to access the GitHub. We enter the username and password. We add this key into it. We select it. The credential's done, and then we specify which branch we want to work from. So we're going to use the spelling mistake there. We're going to use the featured Docker branch. We later use additional branches for different webhooks depending on what needs to be deployed to which server. But for now, we're going to use this one. So we could click build now, but we're going to use the webhook to automatically build our application for us. Okay, so now we've set up our Jenkins pipeline with our scripts. What we need to do is configure the Ansible. So here we're defining the worker node, but this IP address is no longer correct, so we just need to put in the new one that's been spun up by our Terraform. So we go onto here, go onto the AWS, we select our worker node, and we check that it's, the T3 small, and we copy the public DNS and just simply paste it in front of here so that the Ansible knows which where the worker node is addressed. So finally, we just need to configure Kubernetes. So we need to, this is the command to configure the Kubernetes cluster. So we're giving the cluster name. So here, as you can see, we're logged into the Kubernetes master node, and we're signed in as we're using the Jenkins user to give the Jenkins permission. So as you can see here, we need to actually use the AWS configure as the Jenkins user to give the Jenkins permission to run the Kubernetes. So again, we're going to use AWS configure, and I'm just going to blur out the screen to keep our information secret. So we put in our access key, secret access key. Then we're going to use the default region of EU West 2 because we're using the London server, not 22. Go back and to 2. Perfect. And then we're going to use our default output as JSON. Okay, now we can run the same command again to configure the Kubernetes. And as you can find that it's now updated the cluster group, and we can now tell it to get the node just to have a look if it's configured correctly. Yep, we can run the Kubernetes codes. As you can see, that it was created 21 minutes ago. So for the final part, we can trigger our Jenkins webhook and have it build our application and deploy it using Kubernetes. So we're now adding everything, committing it to the branch that our webhook set up on, using the commit for the Jenkins pipeline. pushing it to the branch. So we just use git push to push it to our current branch we're in, and we're currently in the, as you can see there, the feature Docker branch. So we can now go to our Jenkins, and you can see that it's automatically starting to get built. So we can check the console output to see how it's getting on. So initially it's going to take a while, as it's a first time installation, so it's installing Ansible and other application packages. Successfully installed Ansible. Now again it's working through the Docker file. It's onto our scripts for the Kubernetes. We just skip forwards a bit because again this can wait. And it's created the backend, which we need first, and then it'll create the front end. Perfect. So we can now go onto our EC2. We go down to our load balancer. And now we need it to finish the security checks. So we've checked this now, and with the Nginx setup, it'll take us straight to the web application. So here we have a fully working web application.